we have also opened the platform for the next topic, which is artificial intelligence and intellectual property. The next session is on artificial intelligence and intellectual property. I request Mr. Vinay Kumar, Senior Product Manager from FI Networks Incorporation, to please take over the session. Thank you.
So I'm myself Vinay Kumar. I'm Product Manager at FI Networks. Some of you might know it already. FI Networks is into security products, building basically load balancer and some few other security products. Most of the cloud networking companies use our products and hardware equipment for securing their businesses. So yeah, today's topic is quite interesting. It's about how AI will play a role and what role it plays in the IPR domain. I'll first thank all the organizers giving me this opportunity to discuss this topic with you all. Let's make it a little bit interactive, see how it progresses. Before we start, I just wanted to make sure that we all understand these four terms. Artificial intelligence versus machine learning versus data learning versus the data science. Deep learning versus data science. So how many of you know all these four, and do you think it's a bit confusing or they are interchangeable? Some people use AI in place of ML, DL in place of ML, and DS for all the things. So it's a little bit confusing, but yeah, let's throw some light on it and try to understand what each of it means to us. Because it's becoming a buzzword daily, and you keep hearing these words again and again, and interchanged sometimes. So AI is about the machines or the systems acting like humans. So they have some level of intelligence, and AI is not a new word for you all. It has been coined in 1956. The AI word was coined in 1956 by some association in the United States of America. So it all started in 1956, adding some intelligence to the systems. So that is where it all started from. And from there, the people have started working on how do you add intelligence to the machine so that they can perform the duties that what we perform. Of course, not with empathy. ML is about machines learning from the data. So again, thanks to the speaker before to me, he has introduced you the Industry 4.0. It's Industry 4.0 is all about data. The one who has more amount of data will probably lead the industry or the domain. So the machine learning, ML, is acronym for it. So it all, the machine learning from the data is called usually as coined as ML, and DL is machine learning using neural networks. There's some framework it uses out of the data. Of course, understanding the large scale of data, large amount of data, it's very difficult for us to process. So of course you have to depend on some frameworks. So a system which is actually depends on some other framework to understand machine learning is deep learning. Usually it is used in face recognition and self-driving cars. All our self-driving ADAS systems that you keep hearing now, ADAS level 1, 2, 3, 4, they're all usually on deep learning. They do learn on various frameworks like neural networks. And data science is all about finding insights and solve some problems of day-to-day problems that we face. So this is usually we see in analyzing some flow charts, data, sales trends, stuff like that. Next slide. So now that we understand the different words, buzzwords that you keep hearing, so can somebody define what AI is now? I know it's post-lunch. It's very difficult to be, sitting in a chair listening to some of the boring stuff. But yeah. Just wanted to make sure that you all know what. Can somebody define what do you understand by AI? Don't go by the definition that I have shown you earlier. You can speak anything that you know about AI. One single sentence. Anybody? Okay. So with respect to the time, we'll move on. This actually refers to some system which has some intelligence, may not match with human behavior or may not match to a level of human intelligence, but to a certain extent which can perform automatically all the duties or some of the duties that we do in our daily life. So this usually depends on, from the depends on large amount of data that it gathers and it learns from. How do you train it? How to walk? How to pick the things out? How to capture the images? How to analyze those images? How to find an object? So all these things actually, when a system understands and act accordingly, is a framework usually called as AI. Next slide. So, of course, we all know this. The whole workshop is about IP. I don't have to introduce you what IP is defined for. Yeah, let's move on. So, importance of this IP in the digital age. It's in today's world, IPs are very important and play a very crucial role, especially for the innovators, entrepreneurs, and innovative products. So, at this stage, actually, this unauthorized usage of the idea that somebody has actually owns it, and somebody copies it without actually knowing, without actually acknowledging the actual innovator. So that is where the AI sometimes helps you. If there is, somebody is using your idea and trying to, commercialize it or using it in their own products. So they usually in software industry, what really happens is you write your library, make it public or doesn't make it public. You might have heard stories of Microsoft stealing a piece of code from Oracle stealing some piece of code from somebody else. It is very difficult for Oracle to prove that, hey, all your registry settings and registry process has been stolen from us. Until and unless Microsoft has to make the code open for the before the court of law and make sure that Oracle proves it that the code is actually written by them. It is very difficult for Oracle to do that, right? So in those scenarios, AI will actually sometimes helps you. I'll show you how does it help identify whether the content is actually copied or are already being used by somebody else. Can you switch on to the tab that the next one? Yeah. This you all know this interface, right? It's ChatGPT. So recently I bought a flat. So I was actually asking my interior designer to generate some images. How does it look like? What patterns of laminates that you use, and how does the woodwork really look like when actually it is completed? But he was actually showing me some lot of images, and I was the way my whole WhatsApp was filled with thousands and thousands of photos that he has gathered and showed to me of my interest. So I was actually keen to know how he is actually generating those many images within a day and showing to me with my own interest and my colors. So when actually I requested ChatGPT to do the same, it actually generated me this image, and then the images that I was shared by my interior designer, I just put in back to the ChatGPT and asked, how this image is, how original is this image? Was this somebody really took an image of from a camera, or it is already made, or it is artificially generated? So as you could see, ChatGPT has identified that this image has been generated by an artificial intelligence engine, and it also gave me the reasons behind how does it identify that this image is not is actually generated by an artificial intelligence engine. So it is unsymmetrical in cleanliness. The image is very unnatural and very symmetry, and the cleanliness in the photo, and it's the unrealistic lighting. Surface textures are very, the wooden panels natural grains are coming out, and then plant details and imperfect physics. So all these things are, the engine detects that this image what you have uploaded is not the original image. So in the creative world, when somebody claims that their photo is taken by wildlife photographers usually do that. they publish their photos to various international magazines. So they claim that the photo is usually the magazines do give credit to the actual photographer. But if somebody copies it, then you know how to search. You can sometimes rely on these frameworks by ChatGPT and all, so that you know that this image is not real or it is generated by an artificial intelligence engine. Go back to the PPT. Can you go back to the next? And not only that, you can also see that there is some text that have generated. The recent times there are a lot of theses and white papers and technical papers that have been published. Somebody just give some sentences and some sources. The ChatGPT will generate you a big long white paper, technically suited, IEEE standards, stuff like that, and very very beautiful, aesthetical and beautiful English. So when you actually put that back into the engines like this, it will try to detect whether it is being generated by AI or it is handwritten and naturally written by by a human. So there are various parameters that it takes into account. Like this, I think it is GPT0.me, and you see I just copy pasted some text, and at the right side it shows that it is 100% AI generated. And if it is mixed, it will show you that there is a percentage of mix, 50% ChatGPT, 50% naturally done. Somebody does some engineering, put some his own thoughts and made some changes, paste it back, and you can say. So these type of engines will actually protecting the copyright of some of the content originally done by somebody, especially the university. What do you call? University people who actually award doctorates and evaluate the white papers, technical papers written by the individuals. So they actually rely on these type of engines now, and you would have seen a lot of real-time incidents that do happen. A student generating, my kids also do the same. They just go to ChatGPT, now secretly open browser and ask it to generate a letter to my principal for a holiday, copy paste and put it in, write it down, copy it in their classes and show it as their own work. So similarly, the university people also started doing this and try to identify whether the content is generated originally or not. Yeah. So you can rely on these type of tools just to make sure that your innovation is not copied or somebody is approaching you as an innovator. You know where to search for. These are a couple of tools that will definitely help you. So the intersection of AI and IP that I have just shown you are the two examples. Copyrights and patentability, enforcement of IP laws. All these things you can always validate them with these new frameworks that are available now. Yeah, next slide. So what does the AI do in this creative world? As I told you, for my home interior designer, I just asked him to design some of the interior design works with my taste and my wife, of course, not my taste. Of course, she is the one who decides everything at home. So she is the one who has actually asked him to suggested some colors, and then he came out with beautiful combinations of it. So all that is done to do some some AI framework. And not only that, I have a cousin who actually works for a film fraternity, and he works for some writing department in one of the famous directors. So these days he's also started. I just saw him doing it. That's how I knew. So he started depending on ChatGPT and started generating the scenes out of the story. So he has narrated a piece of story to ChatGPT and said that, okay, this is the fourth scene between character 1, character 2, character 3, and how does it look like? So it started giving you screenplay. That's the beauty of AI. So AI is not just limited to rules and policies and stringent ifs and buts and stuff like that. it now started using the creative world of it. So not just colors and that are available. It started learning all by itself. Another beautiful story that I can tell you can search it in YouTube. Somebody has done a very good example. Gemini talking to Copilot in Microsoft. Both of the AI engines started talking to each other, and he was trying to book a room in an hotel. Then what really happened was, at a certain point in time, when Gemini was talking to Copilot, they realized that both of them are AI engines, and they said, hey, I'm also an AI assistant. Why don't we talk in our own language? And you know what? They stopped talking in our natural English language, and they started talking to each other in a gibberish way. It's a beautiful experiment. It's already available in YouTube. And as humans, we now could not understand what they are talking to each other, but they were really talking to each other. And a similar incident happened in a Facebook data center recently, and they had to shut down the whole systems immediately because they could not understand what the AI systems are talking, how they are talking. And it's all gibberish for now, it's cryptic. Just out of fear, as soon as somebody at Facebook management come to know about this, they have analyzed the packets, network packets, how they are trying to see what they are talking to each other. And after capturing millions of packets, they have shut down the data center immediately. And they have fed the same data packets back to the AI engine to understand what they are talking. But unfortunately, AI denied it, saying, as humans, it's very difficult for you to understand. That is the response they got from AI. Yeah, back to the original story. So AI can write stories now. So don't worry, you want to tell stories to anybody, to your boss especially, you can ask ChatGPT, depend on it. It will give you a beautiful story. But make sure that your boss will not actually traces back that this story is from ChatGPT. Okay, and AI can create art. Midjourney is one of the beautiful tools that you have. Where you start, you can now, generate images, paintings, and claim that it is all done by you. AI also invents products, especially designs. This is very, very controversial sentence that I could say. Not this workshop, somebody could claim it. But yeah, there are tools which will generate the designs in CAD for you, and especially I could say just recently, I think it's yesterday I just read it somewhere. There was a guy who was getting bored at home, and he has no job. He was removed from one of the federal agencies recently. And he was getting bored at home. Then he asked, why can't he have a game to play or simulate airplane? Unfortunately, after the Twin Towers 2002 attack, the federal agencies have made everybody to stop producing or developing any airline simulations. So this guy came to know it, and he asked ChatGPT, why can't you generate a A380 simulator? And somehow he could crack that out, and ChatGPT gave him the code, deployed it, and he was able to play it for some time, and his friends liked it, and he wanted to played it, and she really, really liked it. And after a week or so, when she was actually recorded that and posted on her Facebook account, somebody after seeing it informed her that the music is actually generated by ChatGPT. She was actually I don't know whether they are really diverse now or not, but yeah, this guy actually claimed that this song was composed all by himself and played it on her birthday. That day was the best day for her. And after a few days, when she came to know that it is generated by ChatGPT, I don't know what really happened. Newspapers stopped publishing after that. So the question really remains the same. So what happens to the images and designs that the ChatGPT is generating for you? Who owns them? Do you own it because you asked it to generate, or it is the OpenAI which owns the images? Can somebody answer this question? Now, you have asked ChatGPT to generate one image for you, and after it generated, is it you who owns the image, or it is the OpenAI which owns the image? Who is the owner of it? It's open source, that's one answer. I'll not tell you whether it is right or wrong, it's subjective. But yeah, I'll leave it to you all. Whatever is the answer, be it with you. You keep discussing with yourself whether it is right or wrong, or what could be the answer. We'll discuss that later after this session. Yeah, the ownership of what AI generates. See, copyright and AI, again, it's the same. What's at stake? So AI's ability to replicate, reproduce whatever you are trying to do, and all the creative works, the complicated stuff, until unless somebody copyrights, what happens? I also want to introduce you to one real life incident. There was a controversy regarding one of the Nobel Prize awarded to a couple of scientists who actually decoded a genome, protein genome. But somebody found it out that the most part of the genome was decoded by AI engine, not by the scientists. So the controversy still remains the same. The Nobel Prize is already awarded. I don't want to get into the names, but the controversy still remains the same, whether the award should be given to the AI engine or to the scientists. Next slide. So patents and AI innovation. So okay. AI contributes significantly these days. Without AI, I don't think even my kids are not doing the homework. So the beauty of it is, even the maths problems, it is able to understand. They're taking a picture of it, send and passing on to the Google to get the answers. I don't know, I should be proud of it or I should be worried. That's different story. But yeah, AI started innovating. So who owns the innovation is the biggest question that we all should answer. There are real life incidents that happened recently in South Africa and a few places. We'll see those cases too. They're publicly available. Next slide. Yeah, trademark considerations, again the same story. What happens to the logos and brands that you do, the logo generated by the AI engine, how does the infringement happen, and how can you use the AI to find out any infringement has happened or not, instead of going to bypassing the expensive attorneys. You can first step is you can use this freely available AI tools and check whether the infringement has really happened or not. The key questions again, my last question was what is the content generated by the AI? Who owns that? Is it owned by the AI engine, or it is owned by the individual who has actually asked the AI to generate? So who is the creator? The AI, the programmer, or the user? Some of the challenges that we have is AI can't hold legally right, so credit goes to the humans for now. So US is trying to, one of the federal agencies is trying to come up with a framework, and they have not concluded yet, but they wanted to check how feasible it is for somebody as who owns the AI engine or entity which owns the AI engine, which is actually generating the content for you, should actually own the ownership of the content generated by the engine itself. There is one aspect that is still in debate. And can AI generated content be copyrighted? Laws in most countries needed human ownership, especially in India too. India also has a law and which can be applicable only to humans for now, except one or two incidents where the court has punished a goat and a cow. Except from a couple of those incidents, all the human rights and the rules and regulations by law are applicable only to humans. So can AI invent something and get a patent? Currently the patent laws requires a human inventor. When one of the South African guy tried to patent something which is generated by AI, to the AI engine itself. It was actually not accepted by the world community. Is AI infringing existing copyrights? So how does the AI know that how it is able to generate what you are asking? So it depends on lot of data. There are tons and tons and tons of data. So you can't even imagine the amount of data that AI uses. So that amount of data is actually passed on to the engine for generating the results that you are asking. So those results are actually we are still debating whether there is a copyright infringement or not, because what the content you are being creating or already been created or we are about to create is all digitalized, put it somewhere, and these AI engines are trying to know, learn, get information, parse, and do what all they can do on that data itself. So learning, and it is trying to generate. Yeah, I'll just end it. So that is how it is. Okay, next one. The current trends in AI, case studies of AI impacting. I gave you enough examples. Next slide. Yeah, legislative developments, as I told you, there are a lot of legal frameworks that are coming up. So industry responses, we have to responsible while using AI. You have to be ethically correct. You have to responsibly use it. AI. Use AI where it is necessary, and don't have to use AI when it is not needed. Global perspective, the same. People are trying to, all the countries are trying to come up with a framework how to use AI ethically. Ethical consideration, as I told you, the world is too young now. Countries are now developing some frameworks how ethically we can use AI in various projects. Next slide. Fair use, transparency, how AI is generating, those things should be out in public. The framework should also be open source. Next slide. Addressing biases, as you know, the DeepSeek is one basic example. If you start using DeepSeek and ask anything about Arunachal Pradesh, it doesn't give you any responses because it is biased by the Chinese influences. So that is how it should not be in this world. But this should be more transparent, and laws should be enforced against using those type of frameworks. This is for how do you educate the kids, especially the young people. Try to teach them, tell them, use the AI whenever only necessary, and don't have to depend on it for everything unnecessary. Yep. Next slide. The ethical usage of AI. It should be accountable, traceable, transparent, and legally valid, stuff like that. Next slide. The tools, as I showed you, there are a couple of tools which are already available, and a couple of frameworks which I listed. So you can use them to trace, whether the content is generated by AI or a human being. Yeah, go ahead. Next one. Yeah. This forum especially is to encourage all the innovators. There are a lot of other groups, teams, and companies which are actually encouraging innovation, especially in terms of AI. India is trying to develop our own AI framework. Hope that happens soon. Yep. Next one. So takeaways is always check the terms and conditions of the AI tools that you are using. I don't encourage my kids using DeepSeek, because the amount of search that you do, it also takes back that amount of data from you, and it will start analyzing your behavior, and start analyzing what you are, who you are, and gather a lot of information about yourself. If you have to create something with AI, clarify your ownership rights and understand the basics of copyrights, patents, and IPR, and keep AI, watch out for the AI and its policy changes if it happens somewhere. because whenever a new framework is introduced, that also comes with the policy document. You have to just read it and see what the policy document talks about. The conclusion: AI is smart, but you are the creator. Know your rights, protect your creativity, and innovate responsibility. So that's all I could say. Thank you. I'm done. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So the intersection of AI and intellectual property seems to be complex, and it is something for us to think over both legally and ethically. I request Naveen sir to please felicitate sir with a bouquet and a memento. Shawl and a memento, sorry. Thank you.